Thanks, Glenn. Good morning, Brad. Word is the rule that will land on your lineup for tonight.
Say that again, sorry?
Oh, your lineup tonight?
Lineup tonight, so we'll get Z back tonight, and Christensen will be out. Everything else will be the same.
Okay, and so Bayreuther is what, day 10, so you expect to get him back soon?
Yeah, hopefully out of the COVID and cleared to practice.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, Brad, about specifically the development of the young players, especially COVID schedule interruptions, things like that. I think it's fair to say that your team really values the development this year. Has that really been affected? Do you feel like that you're behind where you need to be, right where you need to be? Just where does that all land for you in terms of the young guys developing?
Well, we're certainly not behind it. I think nobody plans for a work stoppage in the middle of the season or and all teams went through it, right? So this isn't something unique just to us. It's, if anything, it could help them moving forward. And I've said this numerous times, they're good. We have some really good young players, and we have a young team. And you have to go through things to understand what that looks and feels like. So when we started to kind of hit our skid there after a real good start at 12-6, I look at that one road trip. We were playing a third game and fourth night. We were going to St. Louis on a back-to-back. And, it's a big, heavy team, a top 10 team, and we had a really good first, and then they poured it on us. We didn't have an answer, and then you head into Nashville. We had won, I think, 6 in a row at the time, and they're a big, heavy team, and, you start getting a little bit tired because that's your fourth game in 6 nights, and they poured it on us. And then we went to Dallas, who I think won 7 or 8 in a row. A big, heavy team that had, they came at us. It was a tight game, but they came at us hard. And then you end that trip in Washington. Stanley Cup contender, top 10, top 5 team, and it was a tough game. And then we have to come home and play a back-to-back against San Jose, and we found a way to get 2 points there. So we can talk about it, and we can say, hey, the schedule's going to get tougher. Don't sit on a 12-6 start because the league gets harder. Those are great things to stay and put on a board and talk as a group. But now you got to go through it and live it, and that's where we're at right now. We're living it, and we're trying to find answers, and we're going to try and correct 1 or 2 things a day, and continue to get or compete or battle and go through it. We're going to go through it here together, and that's how we're going to grow.
Okay, we'll go to Dave Menzel. Go ahead, Dave.
Thanks, Glenn. Brad, how much easier, if at all, does it make it to see the same team again today? You're just basically picking up with period number 4, and you can look at what went wrong, what went right in that game the other night, and start correcting those things?
Yeah, it's we actually did this all last year, right? You're playing 2-game sets all the time, so it's easier on the coaching staff, I'll tell you that, as far as your pre-scouting and going through things, and you get your game review, plus it feeds right into what you're doing against your opponent tonight. So we had so much of it last year. I don't think it's an advantage or disadvantage, but I think for us it's an easier sell job on the fix and what we need to do to try and get better and trying to add to the things we did well that game.
And it seems super obvious, but having Zach back, especially on the power play, has got to be a comforting thought for you, knowing that he's going to be back there quarterbacking that thing.
Well, yeah, it is super obvious. He's our number 1 defenseman, but the power play is one thing. We want to try and get that going, but really his value is the rest of the game because he's playing 26 minutes a night plus, and I think on the power play he might play 2 or 3, which are important minutes, but really it's what he brings to the rest of the game, that the ice time, his ability to escape, be elusive on exits, arrivals, the danger he brings up the ice off the rush. There's so many elements to his game that we miss. We're excited to have him back.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay. We'll go to Aaron Portline. Go ahead, Aaron.
Thanks, Glenn. Good morning, Brad. Your goalie situation, is it Korpisalo and Berube tonight?
Yes, yep.
And any update on Merzlikins and how serious the lower body is?
Getting better. My report yesterday is getting better, and we're getting into that day-to-day look, so I'll check in with Voter today, see what it's looking like.
Okay, cool. Thank you.